Hello all and welcome to a Games Hunt video, and today's plan of action is to go to the big charity shop, which is about a 15-20 minute walk from the train station. Have a look around there, hopefully something's there. Then from there we're going to go into the town centre, which is about a 40 to 45 minute walk from the big charity shop. We'll scooch around there, we'll hit the charity shops in the town centre. We'll also go in cash converters and CEX, so there's bound to be a pickup from there. There always undoubtedly is a pickup from CEX, and I have a couple of games to trade in, so hopefully it won't cost me too much there. And then what we'll do is after that is we'll head back to the big charity shop. We'll see if anything's turned up during the day, because that has actually happened in the past. And obviously after we've done that, it's home time. So yes, because I'm working all weekend and I can't get to the boot sales, I thought that I'd do this Games Hunt day. So here we go, let's get to the big charity shop and get this started. Big charity shop visit 1 for the day is done. Pickings in there were a bit slim, certainly there were game-wise. There was 2 copies of FIFA 11 for the PS3, which obviously no interest there, and a couple of other sports titles mixed in as well. And also that Warhawk game, which I saw there the other day, and I know that's only a 50p game, which is, I believe, a multiplayer only game as well. Did leave with a couple of bits. You may have seen me grab it in the footage, and that was because I just thought it looked cool. I thought there might be some value to it. This Iron Man sort of cartoon DVD here, there is no value to it. It's 50p in CX, but I thought I'd grab it because I thought I would have a little bit of interest in giving that a bit of a watch, because I think Iron Man's cool. Anyway, and the only other DVD I left with was Thomas and Friends, the complete season 1. Now that actually is sold in CX for £4 and trades in for £1, so that's going to go in my trading pile right now. And I paid 50p for both of these, so you know, I've doubled my money in trade and got myself a free DVD that I wouldn't mind watching. So I am indeed on my way to the town centre. I don't know where I'm going to be going first exactly, but obviously you'll see that from the footage. So yeah, let's get to the town centre. First charity shop in the town centre was the British Heart Foundation, and a nice selection. Call of Duty 3 for the Xbox 360 there at £1.99 is a great price if you wanted to add that to the collection, as it's £4 in CEX. However, its trade credit is £1.60 and I already owned it, so I left that behind. But a nice little bit of variation in there. Prices were reasonable, but nothing I needed or wanted, or anything that could get me some trading credit, so left them all behind. UMDs for the PSP, though, were a little bit top heavy if you ask me. Did see a game called Ninja Assault on the PS2, which you'll see here at the end, but it's a light gun game and I just don't have that set up at £1.49. Great price. So this is a brand new charity shop that's opened up in the town centre, or it's certainly new to me as it wasn't there the last time that I went, but that was quite a while ago. So I'm desperately trying to look for where the games may be, and it's quite a sizable store, so there's a lot of floor space to cover. I had already passed the toys. They were in a section right next to the door. Few children's DVDs were scattered in amongst them, but no games. And then I found this small pile here on top of a CD tower. Again, all DVDs and no games. But I did eventually manage to find where the DVDs were, which is obviously a place where we find games mixed in quite a lot in charity shops. But no luck. I am scanning and I am scanning and I cannot find a single game. And also the DVDs were priced up at £1 each, which is quite steep for DVDs in a charity shop, if you ask me. So not a lot of luck there, but I get the feeling it's one of those charity shops that you just got to keep going to and going to again, because you never know what may turn up, and one day I might get a score of games, if I'm lucky, in the future. So now it's the turn to visit cash converters, and always a good look in the window at their gaming stuff before I dive into the store. And as soon as I dive into the store, of course, it's straight to the games, which are on the right hand side, and a nice line of PlayStation 1 titles. And to be fair, they were all very reasonably priced. I'm going for a full set of PlayStation 1 Platinums, but there was nothing there that I needed. So always going to look at the 360 stuff again. Very reasonably priced there. I do leave with a couple of the games, and of course they always have a great selection of Xbox One and PlayStation 4 stuff. Tons of selection, tons of variety, and again reasonably priced too. So after not scoring from the charity shops, we have got a little bit of a score from cash converters. I mean, sometimes the stuff is priced a little top heavy, and by top heavy I mean on the mark, never really over. But you can get a little bit of a bargain out of there, and that's what I've done here with a couple of 360 games for the collection. Now, the first one you see here is Cabela's African Safari. Paid only £1 for that. It sells for £4 in CEX. I wouldn't make any trade credit on that, but it's for the collection. However, I've got a whole host of stickers here to clean off. So manual is in there. I do always check after they've got them out the cabinet for us and check the quality of the disc, so that is fine. And then finally we got Prison Break of the Conspiracy, which I've been after for a while because it's actually easy gamer score from this one. Paid £2 for it, and as you'll see in here as well, we are complete in box with manual. And so this one was £2, and that in CX is a £6 game and actually £3 trade, so there's actually a little bit of trade to make there. But talking about CEX, that's where we're going to be going now. So off to CEX to trade in some games and definitely pick up some more for the collection. And it's CEX time, and before we dive into the store, always going to have a good look in the window, and it's nice to see a Dreamcast game out in the wild, even if it is Chicken Run for £8, which doesn't interest me. Just nice to see a Dreamcast game out in the wild. As is it a Game Gear game too. That was Aliens 3 for only a couple of quid. I wish I saw more Game Gear games out in the wild for only a couple of quid that I don't own, but I do own that one, so I left it behind. Obligatory Mario Kart Wii product in the window there, and then I spy this beautiful PlayStation controller with the God of War design on it. Absolutely loved that. I mean, these Xbox One controllers here were nice, but that was just beautiful. Really liked that. And what's beautiful is coming up in a second here is the Gears 5 Xbox One X, which I need to own one day. Absolutely need to own. And below that is also a beautiful limited edition blue Xbox 360. Do not see that out in the wild very often at all. So it is now time to head into the store, head left and go to the retro stuff. The first thing I spy is a SNES game, and it's R-Type, and that's because R-Type is a great shmup, and at 12 quid I don't think that's an unreasonable price. Some box Mega Drive games, and I love Street Race. I think it's an underrated kart game. Did spy that was 8 quid by looking down the side. Great to see some PlayStation 1 games out in the wild, always is. And loads of controllers for different consoles here. We've got GameCube, we've got something for the original Xbox, and a plethora of 360 controllers there. There are more controllers, but there are a couple of Wii Fit boards in the way there. They're still trading in, but it is dropping, so get them in soon if I was you. Some Amiibos there, they catch my eye because there's a Ryu one there, and I do like my Street Fighter figures, and Ryu is my main, so wouldn't have minded picking that up, but decided to leave that behind because it was 15 quid. And plenty of hardware there, plenty of those Move controllers, loads of them. So it's off to the games. I do have a quick nose at Mario Kart on the DS here, just to keep myself up to date with how much it's going for, because Mario Kart games are always great trade fodder in CEX. So I'm heading over to the 360 stuff now, but I can't help but have a good glance at the Xbox One games as I pass. And we're just approaching the 360 stuff now. So having a good look at them, because this is what I'm going to be concentrating on buying. So having a good look at them. A couple of them that I do spy in this footage early on, I do pick up. Now, I had to kind of divert because there was a family in the way of the 360 stuff. So I thought, right, I'll divert and I'll do what I normally do. I'll go to the PS2 section and I'll look at the T's and see if I can finally find a Tekken 4 or 5 on a black label. I cannot. But I did see Taito Legends for only £8, and I'm a keen collector of PlayStation 2 compilations as well, but for £8 I decided that wasn't a bad price, but on this occasion I would leave it behind. So yeah, just a nice quick scan over the PlayStation 2 games. Now that family has moved, it is back to the 360 stuff and having a good look at it. As I say, I've got like a £31.20 voucher to spend, so I'm very keen to use it all up and really add to the collection and try to find some mid-price titles to cross off of the list. And some of the stuff that I do spy in this video I do add to the collection. Can you guess which ones they are? I do focus on them for a split second here and there, but there we go, a great look around CEX in Harlow Town. Done in the main town centre for the day. Spent about 3 hours up there roughly. Obviously went around the charity shops. There's only a couple, they didn't really turn up anything. Went into cash converters and obviously got a couple of pickups there, which you've already seen. And then went into CEX with my trading voucher, but chucked in a little bit of bonus footage from Asda before that. And of course went to game as well. There was a little bit of bonus footage from there as well. So yes, had to spend up in CEX. Spent a £31.20 voucher, which probably cost me around about 10 to 15 quid's worth of stuff. And then spent £7.80 of my own money. So left with a stack of 360 games there. Going to show you those right at the end of the video when I get home, because there is quite a few of those. But for now it's off to the big charity shop again, and anything I do pick up from there I'll show you straight away afterwards. So let's get the half-hour walk done and get back to that charity shop a few hours later and hope they put some stuff out. So done with my second visit to the big charity shop, and I thought I'd just sort of do a scan as I'm walking in, not really film all the shelves. I didn't really see much point in doing it twice anyway. Even if there is a change, it's not going to be much of a change. Turns out there was pretty much no change, and for the first time in what feels like forever, I've actually gone in there and came out with nothing, which is, yeah, rare, very rare. But what I didn't notice when I first went in, there was a little sign next to the door saying that they're stopping taking donations of a list of certain items, and amongst that list of items was DVDs. And of course, if DVDs is there,
generally games get forgotten about as well because they kind of end up in the same bags and stuff like that. So I decided, as I always do, there is a charity shop right next to them, Sinclair's Hospice, but it's never worth filming in there because there's nothing in there. It's just DVDs, and DVDs of no real interest to me as well. But I went in there, as I always do, and had a look, and I saw a nice box set in there, and I thought, oh, I love that, that looks really nice. And I looked at the bottom shelf, and there were some PlayStation 2 games on there, but nothing amazing, a couple of Formula 1s and things like that. So I thought, no, I'll leave those as well. But the guy behind the counter must have seen me looking at them, because when I went to the counter, I saw some CDs on there and 3 DS games. 2 of those DS games were FIFAs, and I thought, no, I'm not interested in those. But I saw a copy of one which has got good trading value for £2, and I said to him, oh, can I take that, please? And he said, yeah, of course. But he said, oh, I saw you looking at the games at the bottom shelf. If you look just to the right there on top of that unit, I've just put some PlayStation 2 games out. So I was like, all right, I'll go and have a look at those. And of course, I've had a look at those, and there's some proper minty copies of some games, and I picked them up as well. So basically what I'm doing, because I've got kind of 2 stacks to show you, like with the charity shop and CEX, instead of doing it outside like I did say I would do after I left the charity shop, we're going to get on the train, we're going to go home and show you everything that I picked up from that charity shop there, the Sinclair's Hospice behind my favourite one, and obviously CEX as well. So yeah, let's get on that train, get home and show you some pickups.
Home now, and it is indeed time for me to show you what I picked up from my second visit to the big charity shops, and also what I got in CX as well, when I had a bit of a voucher spend up, but just had to chuck a little bit of my own money in there too. So big charity shops, the one that I always go in and always generally leave with something. Well, the rare thing happened, and I left with nothing. Now, I've been there twice in the same day before, but hours apart, and still managed to leave with something each time. But today, yeah, the rare thing happens. I left there with nothing. Probably has something to do with that little sign on the door about not taking donations in. But nevertheless, there is another big charity shop within the vicinity. It's at Sinclair's Hospice. I did go in there. Now, I never normally film in there because it's not worth filming in there, because they never normally have anything. Just shelf full of DVDs that are quite common and not really worth anything. But occasionally it has been known for them to have games, so I always go in there because you never know what may turn up where. And I'm glad I live by that rule because it was well worth going in. As I say, I picked up a DVD which was of interest to me. It is the Evil Dead trilogy, and they had some games as well, and I've got a couple of games to show you from there too. So let's crack on with the pickups. And like I said, Evil Dead trilogy. Saw it sitting on the shelf. Massive horror movie fan. I thought, I've got to have that. Pulled it out, saw the little price label on the front there, £1.50. Definitely got to have that. Now, actually, if I was to take this into CEX and trade it in, they would give me £2 worth of store credit for this, and they sell it for £6, so it's a bargain at £1.50 for me to buy and obviously keep. As I say, I love my horror movies, so I'm absolutely keeping this 100%, and I just think it's beautiful. Yeah, this slipcase is a little bit beaten up, but the artwork on this is just amazing. It is lovely. I absolutely love it. As I say, pull it out, it is just beautiful, all of it. I mean, we've got this little section here. This book in here is mint as well. Fantastic that that's in there. And just to open it up, if you look at all the disc arts and like the bits behind it as well, just absolutely beautiful. And we've got a bonus disc there with blood splatter on. Just a lovely piece. And as I say, massive horror movie fan. It's great to own the Evil Dead trilogy now. Little bonus DVD as well. And it's a steal at that price. As I say, saved on what CX would sell it for. Could actually make 50p in credit if I was to go that route, but I'm not. This is staying with me. So anyway, as I say, left there with some games as well. Now, I had a look at the ones that were out on the bottom shelf where the DVDs were, a couple of Formula 1s, a couple of football games, a copy of 13 for £1, which was in good condition, but I just thought I'll pass on that maybe another day, because that is a game that I actually wouldn't mind playing in the future. But anyway, I went to the counter with just this, and then when I got to the counter, they had a couple of CDs that were in double cases, and there were 3 DS games there. 2 were FIFAs, not interested, leaving that behind. And the third one, they was all priced up at £2, by the way, including this one. And the third one, I saw it, and I just said, mate, can I have that, please? £2 for Nintendogs. A classic CEX trade fodder is the Nintendogs games on the DS, especially even get it for not a lot of money. £2 ain't a great deal of money. Now, I think the trading value of this actually dropped a little bit. This Labrador and Friends one is actually trading it for a £5. I think it was £7 a couple of weeks ago. but it's now trading it for a fiver, and that's a good markup because I always say if I can at least double my money on a low spendage on a game, then for me it's worth it. Even if it's 50p and I get a pound, great. But £2 and getting a fiver, definitely worth it. So yeah, picked up that. So when I picked up that, and he did mention that he'd seen me looking at the PS2 games on the bottom shelf, he did say, "Did you see the pile of PS2 games on that sideboard over there, which were relatively near the DVDs, but were far enough away from it for me not to actually see it?" He said, "Yeah, I just put some out there. There's about 10 there." And I was like, "Okay, then before we ring these up, I'll go and have a look at those." And that's exactly what I did. I went over there and I picked up and made way away with 4 of them. And those 4 are, let's bring them into view as we pop Nintendogs out. All priced up a quid each, these. And it's the condition that totally sells them to me. Now, I must admit, Monkey Island, I know, popular franchise, but I'm not really a fan of point-and-click games, not really into the Monkey Island games. And I've totally bought this to basically give away to friends. It's going to go to one of, I would say, about 3 people in my mind within the community and friends of mine, because not only are they PlayStation 2 fans, they are fans of these games as well. So I'll hit them up to give this to them. This is a £3 game in CX with a £1 trading value. So, but as I say, I wasn't interested in trading it in. I was interested in just getting it for somebody else's collection of stuff to give away to people that gift me stuff all the time as well. Because like I said, it's just mint in box. Look at that manual, fresh off the print. Disc is blemish free. It is mint. I reckon all of these games came from the same person and they looked after their shit basically, because this is just mint as hell and it was just too good to leave behind. And as I say, I'm pretty sure one of those 3 people that I've got in mind will take this off me. And as I say, I will basically reciprocate a gift because these people gift me stuff. So I'm more than happy to basically look out for other people as well when I'm out. And that's exactly what this game is all about. But anyway, next game I believe falls under that category as well. Despite the fact that I collect compilations for the PS2, I already have this one. But again, just too good to leave behind. The condition of it is just ridiculous. Just ridiculously good for a PlayStation 2 game. Just absolutely fresh off the print condition manual. Again, disc, mint, blemish free. As I say, I'm looking out for Midway Arcade Treasures 3, I think. I've got this one and the second one. I think there's a third one, and I haven't got that one. But there's no way I'm leaving this behind. I mean, CX would charge £2 for this. They give you trading for 60p. But when you go to CX, you can't see the disc. In a charity shop, you can. This disc is absolutely mint. So, again, this is going to go in a friend's collection. Again, it's just too good to leave behind. Now, next one is one for me to keep. I do like me a bit of Wipeout. I saw Wipeout Fusion was one of those games as well. CEX sell this for a quid. They'll give you trading credit for 30p, but obviously I'm going to be keeping this one. Again, just look condition of manual, condition of disc. It's just an amazing condition game. It really is. So yeah, like me a bit of Wipeout. So yeah, probably give this a little play. This one I might keep. Games that I do keep are compilations and beat 'em ups. But I'll also buy anything else that obviously massively interests me, or just I have a desire to perhaps play and give a try to, and that is where any Wipeout game pretty much fits in. But beat 'em ups I do collect, and that is the last game. So I was well pleased to see this just sitting there in amongst that pile of games. I love beat 'em ups, and I collect beat 'em ups on the PlayStation 2, and just to see Dead or Alive 2 sitting there again, it's probably from the same person as well. Look at that. Again, it looks like it's just been printed, and again, it's another mint condition disc. I think there's a little bit of extra paperwork in there as well. Trying to sell a multi-tap there with some of the female fighters around it. Fancy a tag, there we go. Tag fighting game perhaps, but a quid. It's a £1.50 in CX. It's saving what CX would charge me, and it's just in amazing condition. As I say, I've checked the disc and I can do that in charity shops. So amazing condition disc. So that was well worth going in that charity shop, which I say I always go in there and never find anything. As I say never, and I have found something, because that was well worth going. It seriously, if you go in a charity shop that you think never has anything, just never think that it will always be never. Got to go in them, and that's exactly what happened. And again, just a stroke of luck by seeing that game on the counter, seeing that guy having me looking at games and just prompting me to go and look at another pile of games which wasn't actually near the games. Brilliant stroke of luck. So anyway, let's move on to what I picked up in CEX, but there was a little bit of a bonus footage from Asda. and I thought I'd go in Asda and just have a little film of the games section. And I had my own little bit of stroke of luck there as well, because whilst I was in Asda, I do a little series called Three Blind Bags, and I thought while I'm in there, I'll scan across the toy section and have a look for blind bag products to perhaps donate to that series. And I have picked up a few. Let's just pull them into view. We've got these little things here which are called Puzzle Pals. Don't worry, it's leading on to something gaming. In fact, one of the blind bags is something gaming. It's Lego Super Mario. As I say in that series, I will buy anything and everything, even if I have no interest to me, just for a bit of fun. Funko Pop Trolls thing and some sort of mini booze tie thing. So I've already opened one of these from series 1, but this is series 3, so it's a different box. So anyway, I was looking for blind bag products, and that's exactly what I've done. I've left with 6. You'll have seen the little pan up in the video, but it was because I was looking for these that I came across it. So let's literally chuck these in the box now for that series. It was because that I was looking for these products to add to my series, to top the box up a little bit, that I come across or saw the Funko section and saw this sitting there. Gears of War Scores. I love this character. One of the best enemies in the game. Just the detail of him is absolutely glorious. What a figure. Now, the ones that come in this series, I've already got a Queen Myra. I haven't got any of the other. I've got a Kate Diaz, but just not from this series and that sculpt. But when I saw this series, and I thought, oh, I'd love a Scourge, and I saw it was a special edition, I never thought I'd come across it. And then just to see it sitting on a shelf in Asda while you're looking for cheap blind bags for a series you do on YouTube, basically, to see this here and be a massive Gears of War fan, by the way. And the code inside is for the Gears Pop mobile game, so I can use that digital code as well. Kind of tempted to keep it in the box because it's a special edition, but I always say, unless you're going to sell something in the future, is there any point in keeping the box if you want to open it and appreciate it a bit more? No. So that is what I'm going to do. I'm going to have a little unboxing there. Let's have a little unboxing. Let's open them up and have just the detail. I'm already amazed at it without looking at it. There, that is beautiful. That is absolutely beautiful. Look at him. So he got to stand there, or is he able to stand on his own 2 feet? Looks like it. Yeah. No stand given. No stand required, but that is just amazing condition. As I say, he's one of my favourite looking enemies in the game. He really is something else. Bit of a bugger to beat as well. The weapon as well there. The detail is just unreal. And as I say, I love my Gears of War. I collect Gears of War figures. So for that just to turn up like that, just, yeah, a stroke of luck. As I say, just looking for products for my blind bag series, and he pops up, and just look at that detail. Just admiring it. He's absolutely fantastic. And a figure that doesn't need a stand as well. Brilliant. Absolutely love it. But anyway, finally, CEX pickups. CEX pickups. Let's pop my figure down aside. We'll put him in place later. CEX pickups. So I spent a voucher which was £31.20. I also had to then spend £7.80 of my own money, and I left with 6 games, and they are in price order from cheapest to highest. So at the moment, I'm on a little bit of a purge, a little bit of a kick to sort of, well, I've got to get all the games anyway, so I've got to get all the Kinect games, but I really kind of want to focus on the subset of getting all the Kinect games, and you've got to get them all. So I was looking for any Kinect game they had in stock that I didn't own, and that was where I come across Nickelodeon, that's easy for me to say, Victorious Time to Shine. I guess her name is Victoria. TV series I've never heard of, but always looking for manuals in boxes before I take the counter, so I don't have that problem. However, sometimes I feel the need to ask if a game is worth it. Get to that in a second. So yeah, adding to the collection, adding a Kinect game to the subset, which I'd like to get done sooner, even though I'm going to get it done eventually, going for a full PAL set. But yeah, Victoria, time to shine. Next up, saw this, Godfather 2. I have Godfather, don't have Godfather 2, saw it sitting there. And again, of course, add a little nose inside, add the manual in it before I took it to the counter. Looks like James Bond used to own this, but there we go. Another one off the extensive list, The Godfather 2. Next up, we got WALL-E. We've got WALL-E, Disney Pixar's WALL-E. As I say, I've seen this film. I thought it was cute. I liked it. I really enjoyed it. As I say, Trying to pick up some of the less common titles as well at the moment, ones I don't see around everywhere. Trying to pick some of the pricier titles up too. So we've got one that's a little bit more than your mid-range pricings in a second at the end. But yeah, picks up Wally for just £6. Done my usual, like I said, manual inside it. Extra bit of one. Yep, extra bit of paper in this one. There we go. Trying to sell you some Wally products. And I thought the inside of the box had discoloured when I first saw it, but it's not. It's got a bit of inside cover art. The inside cover art is yellow and obviously not mixing very well with the green of the cases. But there he is. There is Wally. So we've got yellow coloured inside cover with a picture of Wally on it. So we've got a bit of inside cover art there, which I do like. I like it when they go to the extra little bit of effort there. So it's been attacked by a game, but at least they placed a sticker neatly in the top right hand corner for a change. Again, Connect game, focusing on Connect games. Saw one that I didn't have there. The second of two that they had that I didn't own in there. Kung Fu Panda 2 for £8. He said 6 then, that was Wally. For £8. Again, opened it up before I took it to the counter. Had the manual in it. So yeah, no issues there, no worries there. So yeah, happy to add that. And as I say, focusing a little bit on Connect, so happy to pick up one that, to be honest with you, I've never seen it around in the wild before. It were in CEX or charity shops or nothing. So quite pleased to actually see that one sitting there for £8 and pick that one up. Okay, always check for manuals, and we'll only take it to the counter if it has a manual in it. But sometimes I will ask, does this game have a manual? Now, I was going to buy a Top Gun game for £12. Opened it up while it was on the shelf, no manual. And I thought, oh, I don't see this around. I'm going to have to ask. Took that to the counter. He looked for us, discs only, no manuals. I say, okay, mate, sorry, I'm going to have to pass on that. I'm still looking. I'll look for something else. Saw a Crash Time game. There are 5 of these. I believe Crash Time 3 is actually the easiest to get hold of. But there are 5 of them, and I would like to actually try and pluck off some of the Crash Time games, especially, I think it's 5. I think it's one of the most uncommon ones, or certainly one of the dearest ones. There's a couple worth £20 and a couple of quid more. So yeah, I saw Crash Time 3 sitting there, and of course, what did I do? Opened it up, no manual. Sorry to bother you again, dude, but could you have a look, see if you've got the manual for this one? Lo and behold, behind the counter, he only went and had the manual. So we got our first Crash Time of the 5 games. It's a shame it's got that sticker on, because apart from that, this manual is mint. So I'm hoping I can get that off without causing any damage to the manual. But I've got my first Crash Time game, even if it is probably the cheapest and most common of the 5. But it's good just to have my first one. And then my most expensive one of the pickup, Transformers Devastation for a tenner. Now, when I opened this one up, it didn't have a manual in, but it had this writing on the inlay, which generally a lot of the time means it didn't have a manual. But when you went to put the disc in, it had this little bit of paper. So that was pretty cool turn up. There's a DLC code on the back. We'll give that a try. It's a lottery as if it'll work or not, but I'll play the game, I'll spin the wheel, flip the coin, heads or tails, will it work? I don't know. But that one was a tenner, and I just thought, you know what, like I said, I'm trying to get the slightly pricier 360 titles, not just keep going for the 5 and below ones. So I'm trying to pick off the slightly dearer ones now, using up some credit. As I say, I used up a £31.20 voucher today, which cost me around about £10 to £15 to put together. Spent £7.80 of my own money. So in hindsight, I'm looking at what, £22.80 these games have cost me technically. And what do they add up to overall? Well, that's maths I just can't do quickly. 31.20, 7.80. That is, what, 39 quid, I think. I'm not far wrong if I am wrong, but there we go. 31.20 and 7.80. Yeah, 39 quid. So about 40 quid's worth of games for about half price. So just over half price. There we go. That's CEX. I like to think I do it well. I don't do it as well as some, but I do well out of it. So there we go. It's been a good day out. We picked up quite a bit. Some nice pieces, nice figures, some nice PS2 titles. We've got some more 360 stuff from the collection. We've got, 8 games? Got 6 from CEX, 2 from Cash Converters. Yeah, good day out, good hunt, always fun. Looking forward to doing it again whenever that will be. So, ladies and gentlemen, I think this just does leave me to say thank you very much for watching. If you have liked this video, please give it a thumbs up. That is always greatly appreciated and helps. But yes, thank you very much for watching. And as always, please do take care.